Hello everyone, Norma Woodcock speaking to you from Perth in Western Australia. And I'd like to speak into the baptism of the Lord Year C, and the theme, You Are My Beloved. In the Gospel, Luke 3:15-16 and 21-22, John the Baptist baptizes Jesus, and the heavens open, and the Holy Spirit descended on him in bodily shape like a dove, and a voice came from heaven, You are my Son, the Beloved, and my favour rests on you. And I want to take this, as I do many times, into a very personal realm, because at our baptism, God also said the same thing to us. You are my beloved daughter, you are my beloved son, my favour rests on you. But unfortunately, we don't hear that voice, and we don't always believe that voice from God, because I don't know about you, but I had been called many other names. I had been given such an impression of not being the beloved and of actually having no favour. And I can remember having stones thrown at me as I walked up the hill to school and being called all sorts of dreadful names. I was a foreigner in this country, and I'm going back 72 years. I'm 76 on Saturday. And so I'm going back a lot of years, but my work with so many people has shown me that we actually wear a lot of labels from a lot of names that we have been called, and a lot of names that we have called ourselves. Neuroscience is telling us that what we actually say to ourselves about ourselves is more damaging than what anyone else says. And, you know, I come across people who will say things, even in my office, oh, I'm stupid, or I didn't get that, or I'm whatever. So what I've done is I've made a list of labels that people have put on themselves or others have put on them, and I'm inviting you to peel off those labels in this session. So here's some of the labels. Stupid, dumb, ugly, loser, bad, no good, fat, idiot, never make it, failure, repulsive, sick. But I've also made a list of what God says about you and how he has named you. God says you are loved, cherished, unique, talented, special, blessed, set apart, your friend, delightful, work of art, forgiven, and chosen. It's such a journey, you know, to peel off those old labels and put on the ones of God's making, but it is possible, because I say to people that I work with, here's the spectrum of any damage or any names you've been called or whatever was done to you. I'm over there, so I know that everyone comes here, you're going to be okay. All you have to do is to get into the process of transformation, allow God to change you from the inside out. I go back 40 years when I had my conversion, and it was like alien to me to read about God calling me, you know, beloved, and that I was made in his image and likeness. And way back then, I never dreamt that God would bring me to a place where maybe he would touch a few people through me, that he would change my perception of myself, and he would change my perception of him and of others. Thomas Aquinas says, you know, that truth is seeing reality as it is in God, seeing reality as God sees it, and yet we don't do that. We have such a distorted perception. And that distortion is what the process of transformation brings about at a very deep heart level, so that we can start to put on the eyes of Christ, looking at ourselves and others and him and life, and then life becomes more than doable, more than manageable. It actually becomes enjoyable. So I guess today is about looking at what have you called yourself and what have other people called you, and to get the truth into you at a deep heart level that you are none of those dreadful things, but you are chosen, blessed, beautiful and wonderful, and God has a great plan for you. And if he can do it for me, he can do it for you. Why? Because he is all powerful, all loving, all knowing. And he never, ever will rest until you come to a perception of yourself as he has of you, that you are made in that image and likeness and a work of art. God bless you. Thanks for listening. Look forward to meeting you again next week.